There we go. Everything works.
No.
And then if we wanted
All right.
to start and go.
Yeah, let's get weird. Okay. So Act 1, Scene 1.
Of the
Synopsis.
Comedy of Errors.
Yes, Comedy of Errors, yes. AKA Parent Trap, you know. Synopsis: Aegean, a merchant from Syracusa, is arrested for having illegally entered Ephesus. He tells the story of how he lost his wife and infant son. The remaining identical twin son grew up and set out to find his lost brother. Aegean, in turn, journeyed in search of the son he had raised. His journey has brought him to Ephesus. Now Aegean is given until the end of the day to raise ransom money. If he fails, he will be executed. Scene 1. Enter Silenus and the Duke of Ephesus, with Aegean, the merchant of Syracuse, jailer, and other attendants. Proceed, Silenus, to procure my fall, and by the doom of death and woes and all.
Merchant of Syracuse, plead no more. I am not partial to infringe our laws. The enmity and discord which of late sprung from the rancorous outrage of your duke to merchants are well-dealing countrymen who, wanting guilders to redeem their lives, have sealed their rigorous statutes with their bloods. Excludes all pity from their threatening looks, for since the mortal and intestine jars twixt thy insidious countrymen and us, in thy solemn synods been decreed, both Syracusians and ourselves, to admit no traffic to our adverse towns. Nay, no more any born at Ephesus be seen at Syracusa, marts and fairs. Again, if any Syracusan born at the bay of Ephesus, he dies. His goods confiscate to the dukes dispose, unless 1,000 marks be levied to quit the penalty and ransom him. Thy substance valued at the highest rate cannot amount to unto 100 marks. Therefore, by law, thou art condemned to die.
Yet this my comfort. When your words are done, my woes end likewise with the evening sun.
I just lost my place. Can someone just take over for a second? Sorry.
Well, Syracusian, say in brief the cause, why thou departest from thy native home, and for what cause thou comest to Ephesus?
A heavier task could not have been imposed than I to speak my griefs unspeakable. Yet, that the world may witness that my end was wrought by nature, not by vile offense, I'll utter what my sorrow gives me leave. In Syracusa was I born, and wed unto a woman happy but for me, and by me had not our hap been bad. With her I lived in joy, our wealth increased by prosperous voyages I often made to Epidemium, till my factor's death, and for the great care of goods at random left, drew me from kind embracements of my spouse, from whom my absence was not 6 months old before herself, almost at fainting under the pleasing punishments that women bear, had made provision for her following me, and soon and safe arrived where I was. There had she not been long, but she became a joyful mother of 2 goodly sons, and which was strange, the one so like the other, as could not be distinguished but by names. That very hour, and in the selfsame inn, a mean woman was delivered of such a burden, male twins both alike. Those for their parents were exceeding poor. I bought and brought up to attend my sons. My wife, not meanly proud of 2 such boys, made daily motions for our home return. Unwilling, I agreed. Alas, too soon we came aboard. A league for Epidemium had we sailed before the always wind-obeying deep gave any tragic instance of our harm. But longer did we not retain much hope, for what obscured light the heavens did grant did but convey unto our fearful minds a doubtful warrant of our immediate death, which thought myself would gladly have embraced. Yet the incessant weepings of my wife, weeping before for what she saw must come, and piteous plaining of the pretty babes that mourned for fashion, ignorant what to fear, forced me to seek delays from them and me. And this it was, for other means was none. The sailors sought for safety by our boat and left the ship, then sinking ripe to us. My wife, more careful for the latter-born, had fastened him unto a small spare mast, such as seafaring men provide for storms. To him one of the other twins was bound, whilst I had been like heedful of the other. The children thus disposed, my wife and I, fixing our eyes on whom our care was fixed, fastened ourselves at either end the mast, and floating straight, obedient to the stream, was carried towards Corinth, as we thought. At length the sun, gazing upon the earth, dispersed those vapors that offended us, and by the benefit of this wished light, the seas waxed calm, and we discovered 2 ships from far making amain to us, of Corinth that, of Epidaurus this. But ere they came, oh, let me say no more. Gather the sequel by that went before.
Nay, forward, old man, do not break off so, for we may pity, though not pardon thee.
Oh, had the gods done so, I had not now worthily termed them merciless to us. For ere the ships could meet by twice 5 leagues, we were encountered by a mighty rock, which being violently borne upon, our helpful ship was splitted into the mists, so that, in this unjust divorce of us, Fortune had left to both of us alike what to delight in, what to sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seeming as burdened with lesser weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind, and in our sight they 3 were taken up by fishermen of Corinth, as we thought. At length, another ship had seized on us, and knowing whom it was their hap to save, gave healthful welcome to their shipwrecked guests, and would have reft the fishers of their prey had not their bark been very slow of sail. And therefore homeward did they bend their course. Thus have you heard me severed from my bliss, that by misfortunes was my life prolonged to tell sad stories of my own mishaps.
And for the sake of them thou sorrowest for, do me the favor and dilate at full, what have befallen of them and thee till now?
My youngest boy, and yet my eldest care, at 18 years became inquisitive after his brother, and importuned me that his attendant, so his case was like, reft of his brother, but retained his name, might bear him company in the quest of him, whom whilst I labored of a love to see, I hazarded the loss of whom I loved. 5 summers have I spent in farthest Greece, roaming clean through the boards of Asia, and coasting homeward came to Ephesus, hopeless to find, yet loath to leave unsought, or that, or any place that harbors men. But here must end the story of my life, and happy were I in my timely death, could all my travels warrant me they live.
Hapless Aegeon, whom the fates have marked to bear the extremity of dire mishap. Now, trust me, were it not against our laws, against my crown, my oath, my dignity, which princes would they not disannul, my soul should suit us as to advocate for thee. But though thou art adjudged to the death, and past sentence may not be recalled, but to our honor's great disparagement, yet I will favor thee in what I can. Therefore, merchant, I'll limit thee this day to seek thy life by beneficial help. I'll limit thee this day to seek thy life by beneficial help. Try all the friends thou hast in Ephesus. Beg thou or borrow to make up the sum, and live. If no, then thou art doomed to die. Jailer, take him to thy custody. I will, my lord.
Hopeless and helpless doth Aegeon wend, but to procrastinate his lifeless end. They exit. Synopsis. Antipholus of Syracuse lands in Ephesus with his servant, Dromio. He sends Dromio to an inn with their luggage and money. Antipholus, warned that Syracusans are not allowed in Ephesus, speaks of his search for his mother and his brother. He meets Dromio of Ephesus, who denies having been entrusted with any money and who scolds him for being late coming home to his wife to dinner. Antipholus beats him and sets out for the inn to find his money. Scene 2. Enter Antipholus of Syracuse, first merchant, and Dromio of Syracuse.
Therefore, give out you our epidemium, lest that your goods too soon be confiscated. This very day, a Syracusian merchant is apprehended for arrival here, and, not being able to buy out his life, according to the statute of the town, dies ere the wary sun set in the west. This is your money that I had to keep.
He gives money.
Go bear to the centaur where we host, and stay there, Dromio, till I come to thee. Within this hour will be dinner time. Till that, I'll view the manners of the town, peruse the traders, gaze upon the buildings, and then return and sleep within mine inn. For with long travel I am stiff and weary. Get thee away.
Many a man would take you at your word and go indeed, having so good a mien.
A trusty villain, sir, that very oft, when I am dull with care and melancholy, lightens my humor with his merry jest. What, will you walk with me about the town and then go to my inn and dine with me?
I am invited, sir, to certain merchants, of whom I hope to make such benefit. I crave your pardon. Soon at 5 o'clock. Please you, I'll meet you upon the mart and afterward consort you till bedtime. My present business calls me from you now.
Farewell till then. I will go lose myself and wander up and down to view the city.
Sir, I commend you to your own content.
He that commends me to my own content commends me to the thing I cannot get. I to the world am like a drop of water that in the ocean seeks another drop, who, failing there to find his fellow forth, unseen, inquisitive, confounds himself. So I, to find a mother and a brother, in quest of an unhappy lose myself.
Enter Dromio of Ephesus.
Here comes the almanac of my true date. What now, how chance thou art returned so soon?
Returned so soon? Rather approached too late. The capon burns, the pig falls from the spit, the clock that strucketh 12 upon the bell. My mistress made it upon my cheek. She is so hot because the meat is cold. The meat is cold because you come not home. You come not home because you have no stomach. You have no stomach, having broke your fast. But we that know what 'tis to fast and pray are penitent for your default today.
Stop. In your wind, sir, tell me this, I pray. Where have you left the money that I gave you?
Oh, 6 pence that I had on Wednesday last to pay the saddler for my mistress's cupper. The saddler had it, sir. I kept it not.
I am not in a sportive humor now. Tell me, and dally not, where is the money? We being strangers here, how darst thou trust so great a charge from thine own custody?
I pray you, jest, sir, as you sit at dinner. I from my mistress come to join you in post. If I return, I shall be post indeed, for she will score your faults upon my pate. Methinks your maw like mine should be your clock and strike you home without a messenger.
Come, Dromio, come. These jests are out of season. Reserve them till a merrier hour than this. Where's the gold I gave in charge to thee?
To me, sir? Why, you gave no gold to me.
Come on, sir knave, you have done your foolishness, and tell me how thou hast disposed thy charge.
My charge was but to fetch you from the mart home to your house. The Phoenix, sir, to dinner. My mistress and her sister stays for you.
Now, as I am a Christian, answer me. In what safe place have you bestowed my money? Or I shall break that merry sconce of yours that stands on tricks when I am undisposed. Where is the 1,000 marks thou hadst of me?
I have some marks of yours upon my pate, some of my mistress's marks upon my shoulders, but not 1,000 marks between you both. If I should pay your worship those again, perchance you will not bear them patiently.
Thy mistress's marks? What mistress, slave, hast thou?
Your worship's wife? My mistress at the Phoenix. She doth fast till you come home to dinner, and prays that you will hie you home to dinner.
What, wilt thou float me this unto my face, being forbid? There, take you that, sir knave.
What means you, sir? For God's sake, hold your hands. Nay, and you will not, sir. I'll take my heels.
Dromio of Ephesus exits.
Upon my life, by some device or other, the villain is overwrought of all my money. They say this town is full of consonage and as nimble jugglers that deceive the eye. dark working sorcerers that change the mind, soul-killing witches that deform the body, disguised cheaters, prating mountebanks, and many such like liberties of sin. If proved so, I will be gone the sooner. Out to the centaur to go seek this slave. I greatly fear my money is not safe.
He exits. Act 2, Scene 2. Adriana angrily awaits her husband, who is late for dinner. Dromio of Ephesus enters and tells about his meeting with Antipholus of Syracuse. Thank you. Act 2, Scene 1. Got it wrong. Thank you, Ariel. Adriana, furious that Antipholus has denied that he has a wife, sends Dromio back to fetch him home. Scene 1 of Act 2. Enter Adriana, wife to Antipholus of Ephesus, with Luciana, her sister.
Neither my husband nor the slave returned that in such haste I sent to seek his master. Sure, Luciana, it is 2 o'clock.
Perhaps a merchant hath invited him, and from the mart he's somewhere gone to dinner. Good sister, let us dine and never fret. A man is master of his liberty. Time is their master, and when they see time, they'll go for or come. If so, be patient, sister.
Why should their liberty than ours be more?
Because their business still lies out a door.
Look, when I serve him so, he takes it ill.
Oh, no, he is the brittle of your will.
They're none but asses will be brittled so.
Why headstrong liberty is lashed with woe? There's nothing situate under heaven's eyes, but hath his bound in earth and sea and sky. The breasts, the fishes, the winged fowls are their male subjects, and at their controls, man more divine, the masters of all these. Lord of the wide world and wild watery seas, endued with the intellectual sense and souls of more preeminence than fish and fowls, and are masters to their females and their lords, then let your will intend on their accords.
This servitude makes you to keep unwed.
Not this, but troubles of the marriage bed.
But were you wedded, you would bear some sway.
Ere I learn love, I'll practice to obey.
How if your husband starts some other where?
Till he come home again, I would forbear.
Patience unmoved. No marvel though she paused. They can be meek that have no other cause. A wretched soul bruised with adversity, we bid be quiet when we hear it cry, but where we burden with weight of pain, as much or more, we should ourselves complain. So thou hast no unkind mate to grieve thee, with urging helpless patience would relieve me. But if thou live to see like right bereft, this foul begged patience in thee will be left.
Well, I will marry one day, but to try. Here comes your man. Now is your husband nigh.
Enter Dromio of Ephesus.
Say, is your tardy master now at hand?
Nay, he's at 2 hands with me, and that my 2 ears can witness.
Say, did thou speak with him? Knowest thou his mind?
Aye, he told me his mind upon mine ear. Beshrew his hand, I scarce could understand it.
Spake he so doubtfully thou couldst not feel his meaning?
Nay, he struck so plainly I could too well feel his blows, and with also doubtfully that I could scarce understand them.
But say, I prithee, is he coming home? It seems he has great care to please his wife.
My mistress, sure my master is horn mad.
Horn mad? Thou villain?
I mean not cuckold mad, but sure he is stark mad. When I desired him to come home to dinner, he asked me for 1,000 marks in gold. 'Tis dinner time, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Your meat doth burn, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Will you come, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Where is the 1,000 marks I gave thee, villain? The pig, quoth I, is burned. My gold, quoth he. My mistress, sir, quoth I. Hang up thy mistress, I know not thy mistress, out on thy mistress.
Quoth who?
Quoth my master. I know, quoth he, no house, no wife, no mistress. So that my errand due unto my tongue, I thank him, I bear home upon my shoulders, for in conclusion he did beat me there.
Go back again, thou slave, and fetch him home.
Go back again and be new beaten home? For God's sake, send some other messenger.
Back, slave, or I will break thy pate across.
And he will bless that cross with other beatings. Between you, I shall have a holy head.
Hence, prating peasant, fetch thy master home.
Am I so round with you as you with me, that like a football you do spurn me thus? You spurn me hence, and he will spurn me hither. If I last in this service, you must case me in leather.
He exits.
Ay, how impatience loureth in your face.
His company must do his minions graced. While I at home starve for merry look, hath homely age the alluring beauty took from my poor cheek. Then he hath wasted it. Are my discourses dull? Barren my wit? If voluble and sharp discourse be marred, unkindness blunts it more than marble hard. Do their gay vestments his affections bait? It's not my fault. He's master of my state. What ruins are in me that can be found by him not ruined? Then is he the ground of my defeatures, my decayed fare? A sunny look of his would soon repair, but to unruly deer he breaks the pail and feeds from home. Poor I am, but his stale.
Self-harming jealousy, fie, beat it hence.
Unfeeling fools can with such wrongs dispense. I know his eye doth homage otherwhere, or else what lets it be would he be here? Sister, you know he promised me a chain. Would that alone, O love, he would detain, so that he would keep fair quarter with his bed? I see that the jewel best enameled will lose his beauty. Yet the gold abides still that others touch, and often touching will wear gold. Yet no man hath a name by falsehood, and corruption doth it shame. Since that my beauty cannot please his eye, I'll weep what's left away, and weeping die.
How many fond fools serve mad jealousy?
They exit. Act 2, Scene 2. And Timmy, could you read stage directions, please?
My mouse is not working very well. I can
I can take it if you want me to. Yeah, Timmy? All right. Antipholus of Syracuse meets Dromio of Syracuse, who denies having spoken with Antipholus' wife. Adriana and her sister Luciana enter and persuade Antipholus to come to dinner. Scene 2, enter Antipholus of Syracuse.
Gold I gave to Dromio is laid up, safe at the Centaur, and the heedful slave has wandered forth in care to seek me out. By computation in mine host's report, I could not speak with Dromio, since at first I sent him from the mart. See, here he comes.
Enter Dromio of Syracuse.
How now, sir? Is your merry humor altered? As you love stroke, so jest with me again. You know no Centaur, you receive no gold. Your mistress sent to have me home to dinner. My house was at the Phoenix. Wast thou mad that thou thus so madly thou didn't answer me?
What answer, sir? When spake I such a word?
Even now, even here, not half an hour since.
I did not see you since you sent me hence, home to the Centaur with the gold you gave me.
Villain, thou didst deny the gold's receipt, and toldest me of a mistress and a dinner, for which I hope thou feltest I was displeased.
I am glad to see you in this merry vein. What means this jest, I pray you, master, tell me.
Yeah, dost thou jeer and flout me in the teeth? Think'st thou I jest? Hold, take thou that and that.
It's Dromio.
Hold, sir, for God's sake. Now your jest is earnest. Upon what bargain did you give it me?
Because that I familiarly sometimes do use you for my fool and chat with you, your sauciness will jest upon my love, and make a comment of my serious hours. When the sun shines, let foolish gnats make sport, but creep in crannies when he hides his beams. If you will jest with me, know my aspect, and fashion your demeanor to my looks, or I will beat this method in your sword. Sconce,
sconce, you call it? So you would leave battering. I had rather have it ahead. And you use these blows long. I must get a sconce for my head and ensconce it too, or else I shall seek my wit in my shoulders. But I pray, sir, why am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, sir, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you why?
Aye, sir, and wherefore? For they say every why hath a wherefore.
Why, first, for flouting me, and then wherefore for urging it the second time to me.
Was there ever any man that's beaten out of season, when in the why and the wherefore is neither rhyme nor reason? Well, sir, I thank you.
Thank me, sir, for what?
Marry, sir, for this something that you gave me for nothing.
I'll make you amends next, to give you nothing for something. But say, sir, is it dinner time?
No, sir, I think the meat wants that I have.
In good time, sir, what's that?
Basting?
Well, sir, then 'twill be dry.
If it be, sir, I pray you eat none of it,
Your reason?
lest it make you choleric and purchase me another dry basting.
Well, sir, learn to jest in good time. There's a time for all things.
I durst have denied that before you were so choleric.
By what rule, sir?
Marry, sir, by rule as plain as the plain bald pate of the father time himself.
Let's hear it.
There's no time for a man to recover his hair that grows bald by nature.
May he not do it by fine and recovery?
Yes, to pay a fine for a periwig and recover the lost hair of another man.
Why is time such a niggard of hair, being as it is so plentiful in excrement?
Because it is a blessing that he bestows on beasts, and what he hath scanted of men in hair he hath given them in wit.
Why, but there's many a man hath more hair than wit.
Not a man of those, but he hath the wit to lose his hair.
Why thou didn't conclude hairy men plain dealers without wit?
The plainer dealer, the sooner lost, yet he loseth it in a kind of jollity.
For what reason?
For two, and sound ones too.
Nay, not sound, I pray you.
Sure ones then.
Nay, not sure in a thing falsing.
Certain ones then.
Name them.
The one, to save the money that he spends in tiring. The other, that at dinner they should not drop in his porridge.
You would all this time have proved there is no time for all things?
Marry, and did, sir, namely, e'en no time to recover hair lost by nature.
But your reason was not substantial why there is no time to recover.
Thus I mend it. Time himself is bald, and therefore to the world's end will have bald followers.
I knew 'twould be a bald conclusion, but soft. Who wafts us yonder?
Enter Adriana, beckoning them, and Luciana.
Sorry. I, Antipholus, look strange and frown. Some other mistress hath my sweet aspects. I am not Adriana, nor thy wife. The time was once when thou unurged wouldst vow that never words were music to thine ear, that never object pleasing in thine eye, that never touch well welcome to thy hand, that never sweet, that never meat sweet savored in thy taste, unless I spake, or looked, or touched, or carved to thee. How comes it now, my husband? Oh, how comes that thou art then estranged from thyself? Thyself, I call it, being strange to me, that undividable, incorporate, and better than thy dear self's better part. Do not tear away thyself from me, for know my love, as easy mayest thou fall, a drop of water in the breaking gulf, and take unmingled thence that drop again, without addition of or diminishing, as take from me thyself, and not me too. How dearly would it touch thee to the quick, shouldst thou but hear I were licentious, and that this body, consecrate to thee, by ruffian lust should be contaminate. Wouldst thou not spit at me, and spurn at me, and hurl the name of husband in my face, and tear the stained skin off my harlot brow, and from my false hand cut the wedding ring, and break it with the deep divorcing vow? I know thou canst, and therefore see thou do it. I am possessed with an adulterate blot. My blood is mingled with the crime of lust. For if we two be one, and thou play false, I do suggest the poison of thy flesh, being strumpeted by thy contagion. Keep in fair league and truce with thy true bed. I live disdained, thou dishonored.
Plead you to me, fair dame, I know you not. In Ephesius I am but 2 hours old, as strange unto your town as to your talk. Who every word by all my wit being scanned wants wit in all one word to understand.
Ay, brother, how the world is changed with you. When were you wont to use my sister thus? She sent for you by Dromio home to dinner.
By Dromio.
By me.
By thee. And this thou didst return from him, that he buffeted thee, and in his blows denied my house for his, me for his wife.
Did you converse, sir, with this gentlewoman? What is the course and drift of your compact?
I, sir? I never saw her till this time.
Villain, thou liest, for even her very words didst thou deliver to me on the mart.
I never spake with her in all my life.
How can she thus then call us by our names, unless it be by inspiration?
How ill it agrees it with your gravity to counterfeit thus grossly with your slave, abetting him to thwart me in my mood. Be it my wrong, you are from me exempt, but wrong not that wrong with a more contempt. Come, I will fasten out on this slave of thine.
She takes his arm.
Thou art an elm, my husband, I a vine, whose weakness married to thy stronger state makes me with thy strength to communicate. If aught possess thee from me, it is dross, usurping ivy, briar, or idle moss, who all for want of pruning with intrusion infect thy sap and live on thy confusion.
To me she speaks, she moves me for her theme. What, was I married to her in my dream, or sleep I now and think I hear all this? What error drives our eyes and ears amiss? Until I know this sure uncertainty, I'll entertain the offered fallacy.
Dromio, go bid the servants spread for dinner.
Oh, for my beads, I cross me for a sinner.
He crosses himself.
This is the fairyland. Oh, spite of spites. I talk with goblins, owls, and sprites. If we obey them not, this will ensue. They'll suck our breath or pinch us black and blue.
Why pratest thou to thyself and answerest not? Dromio, thou snail, thou slug, thou sot.
I am transformed, master, am I not?
I think thou art in mind, and so am I.
Nay, master, both in mind and in my shape.
Thou hast thine own form.
No, I am an ape.
If thou art changed to aught, 'tis to an ass.
'Tis true, she rides me, and I long for grass. 'Tis so, I am an ass, else it could never be, but I should know her as well as she knows me.
Come, no longer will I be a fool to put this finger in the eye and weep, whilst man and master laughs my woes to scorn. Come, sir, to dinner. Dromio, keep the gate. Husband, I'll dine above with you today and shrive you of 1,000 idle pranks. Sirrah, if any ask you for your master, say he dines forth and let no creature enter. Come, sister. Dromio, play the porter well.
Am I in earth, in heaven, or hell? Sleeping or waking, mad or well advised, known unto these and to myself disguised. I'll say as they say and persevere so, and in this mist at all adventures go.
Master, shall I be porter at the gate?
Aye, and let none enter, lest I break your pate.
Come, Antipholus, we dine too late.
They exit. Act 3, Scene 1. Antipholus of Ephesus brings a goldsmith and a merchant to his home dinner. He finds the door locked and, enraged, departs for a courtesan's house. He sends the goldsmith to fetch a gold chain, which he now decides to give to the courtesan. Scene 1. Enter Antipholus of Ephesus, his man Dromio, Angelo the goldsmith, and Balthazar the merchant.
Good Signor Angelo, you must excuse us all. My wife is shrewdest when I keep not hours. Say that I lingered with you at your shop to see the making of her carcanet, and that tomorrow you will bring it home. But here's a villain that would face me down. He met me on the mart, and that I beat him and charged him with 1,000 marks in gold, and that I did deny my wife and house. Thou drunkard thou, what didst thou mean by this?
Say what you will, sir, but I know what I know. That you beat me at the mart, I have your hand to show. If the skin were parchment and the blows you gave were ink, your own handwriting would tell you what I think.
I think thou art an ass.
Marry, so it doth appear by the wrongs I suffer and the blows I bear. I should kick being kicked, and being at that pass, you would keep from my heels and beware of an ass.
You're sad, Senor Balthazar. Pray God our cheer may answer my goodwill and your good welcome here.
I hold your dainties cheap, sir, and your welcome dear.
Oh, Senor Balthazar, either at flesh or fish, a table full of welcome makes scarce one dainty dish.
Good meat, sir, is common that every churl affords.
And welcome more common, for that's nothing but words.
Small cheer and great welcome makes a merry feast.
I to a niggardly host and more sparing guest. But thou, my cates, be mean, take them in good part. Better cheer may you have, but not with better heart.
He attempts to open the door.
But soft, my door is locked. Go bid and let us in. Go bid them let us in.
Maud, Bridget, Marion, Cicely, Jillian, Jen. Mome, Malt, Horse, Coppin, Coxcomb, Idiot, Patch. Either get thee from the door or sit down at the hatch. Dost thou conjure for wenches that thou call'st for such store when one is one too many? Go, get thee from the door. What Patch has made our porter? My master stays in the street. Let him walk from whence he came, lest he catch cold on his feet.
Who talks within there? Oh, open the door.
Right, sir, I'll tell you when, and you'll tell me wherefore.
Wherefore? For my dinner, I have not dined today.
Nor today here you must not. Come again when you may.
What art thou that keepest me out from the house I owe?
The porter for this time, sir, and my name is Dromio. Oh, villain, thou hast stolen both mine office and my name. The one ne'er got me credit, the other mickle blame. If thou hadst been Dromio today in my place, thou wouldst change thy face for a name, or thy name for an ass.
Enter Luce, above, unseen by Antipholus of Ephesus and his company.
Coil is there. Dromio, who are those at the gate?
Let my master in, Luce.
Faith, no, he comes too late, and so tell your master.
Oh, Lord, I must laugh. Have at you with a proverb. Shall I set in my staff?
Have at you with another. That's where can you tell? Where? Fuck me. When can you tell?
If thy name be called Luce, Luce, thou hast answered him well.
Do you hear, you minion? You'll let us in, I hope.
I thought to have asked you.
And you said no. So come help. Well struck. There was a blow for blow.
Thou baggage, let me in.
Can you tell for whose sake?
Master, knock the door hand.
Let him knock till it ache.
You'll cry for this minion if I beat the door down.
He beats on the door.
What needs all that? And a pair of stocks in the town?
Enter Adriana, above, unseen by Antipholus of Ephesus and his company.
Who is that at the door that keeps all this noise?
By my troth, your town is troubled with unruly boys.
Are you there, wife? You might have come before.
Your wife, Sir Knave? Go get you from the door.
Adriana and Luce exit.
If you went in pain, master, this knave would go sore.
Here is neither cheer, sir, nor welcome. We would fain have either.
In debating which is best, we shall part with neither.
They stand at the door, master. Bid them welcome hither.
There is something in the wind that we cannot get in.
You would say so, master, if your garments were thin. Your cake here is warm within. You stand here in the cold. It would make a master mad as a buck to be so bought and sold.
Go fetch me something. I'll break open the gate.
Break any breaking here, and I'll break your knave's pate. A man may break a word with you, sir, and words are but wind. Aye, and break it in your face, so we break it not behind. It seems thou wants breaking. Out upon thee, hind. Here's too much out upon thee, I pray thee, let me in. I, when fowls have no feathers and fish have no fin.
We'll break in. Well, I'll break in. Go, borrow me a crow.
A crow without feathers? Master, mean you so? For a fish without a fin, there's a fowl without a feather. If a crow help us in, Sorrel will pluck a crow together.
Go, get thee gone. Fetch me an iron crow.
Have patience, sir, or let not it be so. Herein you war against your reputation, and draw within the compass of a suspect the unavoided honor of your wife. Once this, your long experience of her wisdom, her sober virtue, years, and modesty plead on her some cause to you unknown. And doubt not, sir, but she will well excuse why at this time the doors are made against you. Be ruled by me, depart in patience, and let us to the Tiger all to dinner. And about evening come yourself alone to know the reason of this strange restraint. If by strong hand you offer to break in now in the stirring passage of the day, a vulgar comment will be made of it, and that will suppose it by the common rout against you your yet ungallant estimation, that may with foul intrusion enter in and dwell upon your grave when you are dead. For slander lives upon succession, forever housed where it gets possession.
You have prevailed. I will depart in quiet, and in despite of mirth, mean to be merry. I know a wench of excellent discourse, pretty and witty, wild and yet too gentle. There will we dine. This woman that I mean, my wife, but I protest without desert, hath oftentimes upbraided me withal. To her will we to dinner. Get you home and fetch the chain. By this I know 'tis made. Bring it, I pray you, to the poor Pentine, for there's the house. That chain will I bestow, be it for nothing but to spite my wife. Upon mine hostess there, good sir, make haste. Since mine own doors refuse to entertain me, I'll knock elsewhere to see if they'll disdain me.
I'll meet you at the place some hours hence.
Do so. This jest shall call me some expense.
A exit. Act 3, Scene 2. Antipholus of Syracuse falls in love with Adriana's sister, Luciana. Dromio of Syracuse is claimed by Adriana's kitchen maid as her betrothed. The two Syracusians decide that Luciana and the kitchen maid are witches, and Antipholus sends Dromio to the harbor to book immediate passage. The goldsmith enters to give Antipholus the chain. Scene 2, enter Luciana with Antipholus of Syracuse.
And may it be that you have quite forgot a husband's office? Shall Antipholus, even in the springs of love, thy love springs rot? Shall love in building grow so ruinous? If you did wed my sister for her wealth, then for her wealth's sake use her with more kindness. Or if you, like elsewhere, do it by stealth, muffle your false love with some show of blindness. Let not my sister read it in your eye, but not thy tongue, thy own shame's orator. Look sweet, be fair, become disloyalty. Apparel vice like virtue's harbinger, bear a fair presence, though your heart be tainted. Teach sin the carriage of a holy saint, be secret false. What need she be acquainted? What simple thief brags of his own attaint? 'Tis double wrong to truant with your bed, and let her read it in thy looks at board. Shame hath a bastard fame well managed. Ill deeds is doubled with an evil word. Alas, poor women, make us but believe, being compact of credit, that you love us. Thou others have the arm, show us the sleeve. We in your motion turn, and you may move us. Then, gentle brother, get you in again. Comfort my sister, cheer her, call her wife. 'Tis holy sport to be a little vain when the sweet breath of flattery conquers strife.
Sweet mistress, what your name is else I know not, nor by what wonder you do hit of mine. Less in your knowledge and your grace you show not than our earth's wonder, more than earth divine. Teach me, dear creature, how to think and speak. Lay open to my earthly gross conceit, smothered in errors feeble, shallow, weak, the folded meaning of your words deceit. Against my soul's pure truth, why labor you to make it wander in an unknown field? Are you a god? Will you create me new? Transform me then, and to your power I'll yield. But if that I am I, then well I know your weeping sister is no wife of mine. Nor to her bed no homage do I owe, far more to you do I decline. Oh, train me not, sweet mermaid, with thy note to drown me in thy sister's flood of tears. Sing, siren, for thyself, and I will dote. Spread o'er the silver waves thy golden hairs, and as a bed I'll take them and there lie. And in that glorious supposition think, he gains by death that half such means to die. Let love, being light, be drowned if she sink.
What? Are you mad that you do reason so?
Not mad, but mated. How, I do not know.
It is a fault that springeth from your eye.
For gazing on your beams, fair sun being by.
Gaze where you should, and that will clear your sight.
As good to wink, sweet love, as look on night.
Why call you me love? Call my sister so.
Thy sister's sister.
That's my sister.
No, it is thyself, mine own self's better part. Mine eyes, clear eye, my dear heart's dearer heart, my food, my fortune, and my sweet hope's aim. My soul earth's heaven, and my heaven's claim.
All this my sister is, or else should be.
Call thyself sister, sweet, for I am thee. Thee will I love, and with thee lead my life. Thou hast no husband yet, nor I no wife. Give me thy hand.
Oh, soft sir, hold you still. I'll fetch my sister to get her goodwill.
She exits. Enter Dromio of Syracuse, running.
Why, how now, Dromio? Where runnest thou so fast?
Do you know me, sir? Am I Dromio? Am I your man? Am I myself?
Thou art Dromio. Thou art my man. Thou art thyself.
I am an ass. I am a woman's man and besides myself.
What woman's man, and how besides thyself?
Marry, sir, besides myself, I am due to a woman, one that claims me, one that haunts me, one that will have me.
What claim lays she to thee?
Marry, sir, such claim as you would lay to your horse, and she would have me as a beast. Not that I, being a beast, she would have me, but that she, being a very beastly creature, lays claim to me.
What is she?
A very reverend body, such a one as man may not speak of without he say sir reverence. I have but lean luck in the match, and yet is she a wondrous fat marriage.
How dost thou mean a fat marriage?
Marry, sir, she's the kitchen wench, and all grease, and I know not what use to her but to make a lamp of her and run from her by her own light. I warrant her rags and the tallow in them will burn a Poland winter. If she lives till doomsday, she'll burn a week longer than the whole world.
What complexion is she made of?
Swart like my shoe, but her face nothing like so clean kept. For why? She sweats. A man may go over shoes in the grime of it.
That's a fault that water will mend.
No, sir, 'tis in grain. Noah's flood could not do it.
What's her name?
Nell, sir, but her name and 3/4. That's an L and 3/4. Will not measure her from hip to hip.
Then she bears some breath.
No longer from head to foot than from hip to hip. She is spherical, like a globe. I couldn't find out countries in her.
In what part of her body stands Ireland?
Marry, sir, in her buttocks. I found it out by the bogs.
Where Scotland?
Found it by the barrenness, hard in the palm of the hand.
Where France?
In her forehead, armed and reverted, making war against her heir.
Where England?
I looked for the chalky cliffs, but I could find no whiteness in them. But I guess it stood in her chin by the salt room that ran between France and it.
Where Spain?
Faith, I saw it not, but I felt it hot in her breath.
Where America? The Indies?
Oh, sir, upon her nose, all over embellished with rubies, carbuncles, sapphires, declining their rich aspect to the hot breath of Spain, who sent whole armadas of carracks to be ballast at her nose.
Where stood Belgium? The Netherlands?
Oh, sir, I did not look so low. To conclude, this drudge or diviner laid claim to me, called me Dromio, swore I was assured to her, told me what privy marks I had about me, as the mark of my shoulder, the mole in my neck, the great wart on my left arm, that I, amazed, ran from her as a witch. And I think if my breast had not been made of faith and my heart of steel, she had transformed me to a curdled dog and made me turn in the wheel.
Go hie thee presently, post to the road, and if the wind blow any way from the shore, I will not harbor in this town tonight. If any bark put forth, come to the mart, where I will walk till thou return to me. If everyone knows us and we know none, 'tis time, I think, to trudge, pack, and be gone.
As from a bear a man would run for life, so fly I from her that would be my wife.
He exits.
There's none but witches do inhabit here, and therefore 'tis high time that I were hence. She that doth call me husband, even my soul doth for a wife abhor. But her fair sister, possessed with such a gentle, sovereign grace, of such enchanting presence and discourse, hath almost made me traitor to myself. But lest myself be guilty to self-wrong, I'll stop mine ears against the mermaid's song.
Enter Angelo with the chain.
Master Antipholus.
Aye, that's my name.
I know it well, sir. Lo, here's the chain. I thought to have taken you at the Porpentine, and the chain unfinished made me stay thus long.
He gives Antipholus a chain.
What is your will that I shall do with this?
What please yourself, sir, I have made it for you.
Made it for me, sir. I bespoke it not.
Not once, nor twice, but 20 times you have. Go home with it and please your wife withal, and soon at supper time I'll visit you, and then receive my money for the chain.
I pray you, sir, receive the money now, for fear you'll never see chain nor money more.
You are a merry man, sir. Fare you well.
He exits.
What I should think of this I cannot tell, but this I think. There's no man is so vain that would refuse so fair an offered chain. I see a man here needs not live by shifts when in the streets he meets such golden gifts. I'll to the mart, and there for Dromio stay. If any ship put out, then straight away.
He exits.
Act 4, Scene 1, synopsis. Antipholus of, how do you say that?
Ephesus.
Sends Dromio of Ephesus to buy a rope's end to beat Adriana. The goldsmith demands the money Antipholus owes him for the chain. Antipholus denies having received the chain and refuses to pay. The goldsmith has Antipholus arrested. Dromio of Syracuse enters with news of the ship on which he has booked passage. Antipholus of
Ephesus.
It says Dromio of Syracuse to Ariana for money for bail. Scene 1. Enter a second merchant, Angelo, the goldsmith, and an officer. I can take that too. You know, since Pentecost the sum is due, and since I have not much importuned you, nor now I had, but that I am bound to Persia and 1 guilders for my voyage. Therefore, make present satisfaction, or I'll attach you by this officer.
Even just the sum that I do owe to you is growing to me by Antipholus, and in the instant that I met with you, he had of me a chain. At 5 o'clock I shall receive the money for the same. Pleaseth you to walk with me down to his house, I will discharge my bond, and thank you too.
Enter Antipholus of Ephesus and Dromio of Ephesus from the courtesans.
That labor may you save, see where he comes.
While I go to the goldsmith's house, go thou and buy a rope's end. That will I bestow among my wife and her confederates for locking me out of my doors by day. But soft, I see the goldsmith. Get thee gone. Buy thou a rope and bring it home to me.
I buy 1,000 pounds a year. I buy a rope.
Dromio exits.
A man as well holp up that trusts to you. I promised your presence and the chain, but neither chain nor goldsmith came to me. Belike you thought our love would last too long, if it were chained together and therefore came not.
Saving your merry humor, here's the note, how much your chain weighs to the utmost carat, the fineness of the gold, and the chargeful fashion, which doth amount to 3 odd ducats more than I stand debted to this gentleman. I pray you, see him presently discharged, for he is bound to the sea, and stays but for it.
I am not furnished with the present money. Besides, I have some business in the town. Good senor, take the stranger back to my house, and with you take the chain and bid my wife disburse the sum on the receipt thereof. Perchance I will be there as soon as you.
Then you will bring the chain to her yourself.
No, bear it with you, lest I come not time enough.
Well, sir, I will have you the chain about you.
And if I have not, sir, I hope you have, or else you may return without your money.
Nay, come, I pray you, sir, give me the chain. Both wind and tide stays for this gentleman, and I, to blame, have held him here too long.
Good Lord! You use this dalliance to excuse your breach of promise to the porpentine. I should have chid you for not bringing it, but like a shrew, you first began to brawl.
The hour steals on, I pray you, sir, dispatch.
You hear how he importunes me, the chain.
Why, give it to my wife and fetch your money.
Come, come, you know I gave it you. Even now, either send the chain or send me some token. Send by me some token.
Fine, now you run this humor out of breath. Come, where's the chain? I pray you, let me see it.
My business cannot brook this dalliance. Good sir, say where you answer me or no. If not, I'll lead him to the officer.
I answer you? What, should I answer you?
The money that you owe me for the chain.
I owe you none till I receive the chain.
You know I gave it you half an hour since.
You gave me none. You wrong me, must say so.
You wrong me more, sir, in denying it. Consider how it stands upon my credit.
Well, officer, arrest him at my suit.
I do, and charge you in the Duke's name to obey me.
This touches me in reputation. Either consent to pay the sum for me, or I attach you by this officer.
Consent to pay thee that I never had? Arrest me, foolish fellow, if thou darest.
Here is thy fee. Arrest him, officer.
Giving money.
I would not spare my brother in this case, if he should scorn me so apparently.
I do arrest you, sir. You hear the suit.
I do obey thee till I give thee bail. But, sirrah, you shall buy this fort as dear as all the metal in your shop will answer.
Sir, I shall have the law in Ephesus to your notorious shame. I doubt it not.
Enter Dromio of Syracuse from the bay.
Master, there's a bark of epidemium that stays but till her owner comes aboard. And then, sir, she bears away. Our fraughtage, sir, I have conveyed aboard, and I have bought the oil, the balsamum, and aqua vitae. The ship is in her trim. The merry wind blows fair from land. They stay for not at all, but for their owner, master, and yourself.
How now, a madman? Why, thou peevish sheep, what sheep of epidemium stays for me?
A ship you sent me to hire waftage.
Thou drunken slave, I sent thee for a rope, and told thee to what purpose and what end.
You sent me for a rope's end as soon. You sent me to the bay, sir, for a bark.
I will debate this matter at more leisure, and teach your ears to list me with more heed. To Adriana, villain, hide thee straight.
He gives the key.
Give her this key, and tell her in the desk that's covered o'er with Turkish tapestry there is a purse of ducats. Let her send it. Tell her I am arrested in the street, and that shall bail me. Hide thee, slave, be gone. On officer to prison till it come.
All but Dromio of Syracuse exit.
To Adriana, that is where we dined, where Dulcibel did claim you for her husband. She is too big, I hope, for me to compass. Thither I must, although against my will, for servants must their masters' minds fulfill.
He exits. Act 4, Scene 2, Synopsis. Dromio of Syracuse tells Adriana about the arrest of Antipholus of Ephesus. She gives him the money for Antipholus' bail. Scene 2, enter Adriana and Luciana.
Luciana, did he tempt thee so? Myself perceive austerely in his eye that he did plead in earnest, yeah or no? Looked he or red or pale or sad or merrily? What observation madest thou in this case of his heart's meteors tilting in his face?
First he denied you had him no right.
He meant he did me none, the more my spite.
Then swore he that he was a stranger here.
True, he swore, though yet forsworn he were.
Then pleaded I for you.
And what said he?
That loved I begged for you he begged of him.
With what persuasion did he tempt thy love?
With words that in an honest suit might move. First he did praise my beauty, then my speech.
Did speak him fair?
Have patience, I beseech.
I cannot, nor I will not hold me still. My tongue, though not my heart, shall have his will. He is deformed, crooked, old, and sere, ill-faced, worse body, shapeless everywhere, vicious, ungentle, foolish, blunt, unkind, stigmatical in making, worse in mind.
Who would be jealous then of such a one? No evil lust is wailed when it is gone.
Ah, but I think him better than I say. And yet would hair and other eyes were worse. Far from her nest the lapwing cries away, my heart prays for him, though my tongue do curse.
Enter Dromio of Syracuse with the key.
Here, go. The desk, the purse. Sweet, now make haste.
How hast thou lost thy breath?
By running fast.
Where is thy master, Dromio? Is he well?
No, he's in Tartar limbo, worse than hell. A devil in an everlasting garment hath him, one whose hard heart is buttoned up with steel. A fiend, a fairy, pitiless and rough. A wolf, nay, worse, a fellow all in buff. A back friend, a shoulder clapper, one that countermands the passage of alleys, creeks, and narrow lands. A hound that runs counter and yet draws dry foot well, one that before the judgment carries poor souls to hell.
Why, man? What is this? What is the matter?
I do not know the matter. He is rested on the case.
What? Is he arrested? Tell me at whose suit?
I know not at whose suit he is arrested well, but in a suit of buff which rested him, that can I tell. Will you send him, mistress, redemption, the money in his desk?
Go fetch it, sister.
Luciana exits.
This I wonder at, that he unknown to me should be in debt. Tell me, was he arrested on a band?
Not on a band, but on a stronger thing. A chain! A chain! Do you not hear it ring?
What? The chain?
No, the bell. 'Tis time that I were gone. It was 2 ere I left him, and now the clock strikes 1.
The hours come back that I did never hear.
Oh yes, if any hour meet a sergeant, he turns back but for very fear.
As if time were in debt, how fondly dost thou reason?
Time is a very bankrupt and owes more than he's worth to season. Nay, he's a thief too. Have you not heard men say that time comes stealing by night and day? If he be in debt and theft, and a sergeant in the way, hath he not reason to turn back an hour and a day?
Enter Luciana with the purse.
Go, Dromio, there's the money. Bear it straight and bring my master home immediately.
Dromio exits.
Come, sister, I am pressed down with conceit. Conceit, my comfort and my injury.
They exit. Act 4, Scene 3, synopsis. Dromio of Syracuse gives Antipholus of Syracuse the money sent by Adriana. The courtesan enters and demands the chain that Antipholus is wearing. When he flees, calling her a devil, she decides to tell Adriana that Antipholus is insane. Scene 3, enter Antipholus of Syracuse wearing the chain.
There's not a man I meet but doth salute me, as if I were their well-acquainted friend, and everyone doth call me by my name. Some tender money to me, some invite me, some other thanks me for kindnesses, some offer me commodities to buy. Even now a tailor called me in his shop and showed me silks that he had bought for me, and therewithal took measure of my body. Sure, these are but imaginary wiles, and Lapland sorcerers inhabit here.
Enter Dromio of Syracuse with the purse.
Master, here's the gold you sent me for. What, have you got the picture of old Adam new apparelled?
What gold is this? What Adam dost thou mean?
Not that Adam that kept the paradise, but that Adam that keeps the prison. He that goes in the calf's skin that was killed for the prodigal. He that came behind you, sir, like an evil angel and bid you forsake your liberty.
I understand thee not.
No? Why, 'tis a plain case. He that went like a base veal in a case of leather. The man, sir, that when gentlemen are tired gives them a sob and rests them. He, sir, that takes pity on decayed men and gives them suits for durance. He that sets up his rest to do more exploits with his mace than a Morris pike.
What thou meanst an officer?
I, sir, the sergeant of the band. He that brings any man to answer it that breaks his band. One that thinks a man always going to bed and says, God give you good rest.
Well, sir, there rest in your foolery. Is there any ships puts forth tonight? May we be gone?
Why, sir, I brought you word an hour since that the bark expedition put forth tonight. And then were you hindered by the sergeant to tarry for the holy delay. Here are the angels that you sent for to deliver you.
He gives the purse.
Fellows distract, and so am I. And here we wander in illusions. Some blessed power deliver us from hence.
Enter a courtesan.
Well met, Master Antipholus. I see, sir, you have found the goldsmith now. Is that the chain you promised me today?
Satan avoid, I charge thee, tempt me not.
Master, is this Mistress Satan?
It is the devil.
Nay, she is worse. She is the devil's dam, and here she comes in the habit of a white wench. And thereof comes that the wenches say, God damn me, and that, God damn me. That's as much to say, God make me a light wench. It is written, they appear to men like angels of light. Light is an effect of fire, and fire will burn. Ergo, light wenches will burn. Come, not me near her.
Your man and you are marvelous merry, sir. Will you go with me? We'll mend our dinner here.
Master, if you do expect spoon meat, or bespeak a long spoon.
Why, Dromio?
Mary, he must have a long spoon that must eat with the devil.
Avoid then, fiend. What tell'st thou me of supping? Thou art, as you all are, a sorceress. I conjure thee to leave me and be gone.
Give me the ring of mine you had at dinner, or, for my diamond, the chain you promised, and I'll be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
Some devils ask but the parings of one's nail, a rush, a hair, a drop of blood, a pin, a nut, a cherry stone. But she, more covetous, would have a chain. Master, be wise, and if you give it her, the devil will shake her chain and fright us with it.
I pray you, sir, my ring or else the chain. I hope you do not mean to cheat me so.
Avaunt, thou witch! Come, Dromio, let us go.
Fly pride, says the peacock, mistress, that you know.
Antipholus and Dromio exit.
Now, out of doubt Antipholus is mad, else he would never so demean himself. A ring he hath of mine worth 40 ducats, and for the same he promised me a chain. Both one and the other he denies me now. The reason I gather he is mad. Besides, this present instance of his rage is a mad tale he told today at dinner, of his own doors being shut against his entrance. Belike his wife, acquainted with his fits, on purpose shut the door against his way. My way is now to hie home to his house and tell his wife that, being lunatic, he rushed into my house and took perforce my ring away. This course I fittest choose, for 40 ducats is too much to lose.
She exits. Act 4, Scene 4. Synopsis. Antipholus of Ephesus, under arrest, beats Dromio of Ephesus for bringing a rope's end instead of money. Luciana and the courtesan enter with Dr. Pinch, who has been employed to cure Antipholus' reported insanity. Officers bind Antipholus and Dromio of Ephesus, and Dr. Pinch has them carried off. Antipholus and Dromio of Syracuse enter with their swords drawn, frightening Adriana and the others who think the madmen have escaped from Dr. Pinch. Scene 4. Enter Antipholus of Ephesus with a jailer, the officer. You. Antipholus, you're muted.
Damn it. I was going too, man. Shit. Okay. Fear me not, man. I will not break away. I'll give thee, ere I leave thee, so much money to warrant thee as I am rested for. My wife is in a wayward mood today, and will not lightly trust the messenger that I should be attached in Ephesus. I tell you, 'twill sound harshly in her ears.
Enter Dromio of Ephesus with a rope's end.
Here comes my man. I think he brings the money. How now, sir, have you that I sent you for?
Holding over the rope's end.
Here's that, I warrant you, will pay them all.
But where's the money?
Why, sir, I gave the money for the rope.
500 ducats, villain, for a rope?
I'll serve you, sir, 500 at the rate.
To what end did I bid thee hie thee home?
To a rope's end, sir, and to that end I am returned.
Beating Romeo.
And to that end, sir, I will welcome you.
Good sir, be patient.
Nay, 'tis for me to be patient. I am in adversity.
Good now, hold thy tongue.
Nay, rather persuade him to hold his hands.
Thou whoreson, senseless villain.
I would I were senseless, sir, that I might not feel your blows.
Thou art sensible in nothing but blows, and so is an ass.
I am an ass indeed. You may prove it by my long ears. I have served him from the hour of my nativity to this instant, and have nothing at his hands for my service but blows. When I am cold, he heats me with beating. When I am warm, he cools me with beating. I am waked with it when I sleep, raised with it when I sit, driven out of doors with it when I go from home, welcomed home with it when I am returned. Welcomed home with it when I return. Nay, I bear it on my shoulders as a beggar want her brat. And I think when he hath lamed me, I shall beg with it from door to door.
Enter Adriana, Luciana, cousin, and a schoolmaster called Pinch.
Come, go along. My wife is coming yonder.
Mistress, respis finem, respect your end, or rather prophecy like the parrot, beware the rope end.
Wilt thou still talk?
Eats Romeo.
How say now? Is not your husband mad?
His incivility confirmed no less. Good Dr. Pinch, you are a conjurer. Establish him in his true sense again, and I will please you what you will demand.
Alas, how fiery and how sharp he looks.
Mark how he trembles in his ecstasy.
Give me your hand, and let me feel your pulse.
There is my hand, and let it feel you.
I'll charge thee, Satan, housed within this man, to yield possession of my holy prayers, and to thy state of darkness hie thee straight. I conjure thee by all the saints in heaven.
Peace, doting wizard, peace. I am not mad.
Oh, thou wert not, poor distressed soul.
You minion, you are these your customers? Did this companion with the saffron face revel and feasted at my house today, whilst upon me the guilty doors were shut, and I denied to enter in my house?
Oh, husband, God doth know you dined at home. Where word you had remained until this time, free from this slanders and this open shame?
Dined at home. Thou villain, what sayest thou?
Sir, sooth to say, you did not dine at home.
Were not my doors locked up and I shut out?
Pretty, your doors were locked and you were shut out.
And did not she herself revile me there?
Sans fable, she herself reviled you there.
Did not her kitchen maid rail, taunt, and scorn me?
Certes she did, the kitchen vestal scorned you.
And did I not in rage depart from thence?
Verity you did. My bones bear witness that since have felt the vigor of his rage.
Is it good to soothe him in these contraries?
It is no shame. The fellow finds his vein, and yielding to him, humors well his frenzy.
Thou hast suborned the goldsmith to arrest me.
Alas, I sent you money to redeem you by Romeo here, who came in haste for it.
Money by me? Heart and goodwill you might, but surely, master, not a rag of money.
Went'st not thou to her for a purse of ducats?
He came to me, and I delivered it.
And I am witness with her that she did.
God and the rope maker bear me witness that I was sent for nothing but a rope.
Mistress, both men and masters possessed. I know it by their pale and deadly looks. They must be bound and laid in some dark room.
Say, wherefore didst thou lock me forth today? And why dost thou deny the bag of gold?
I did not, gentle husband. Lock thee forth.
And gentle master, I received no gold, but I confess, sir, that we were locked out.
Dissembling villain, thou speakest false in both.
Dissembling harlot, thou art false in all, and art confederate with a damned pack, to make a loathsome abject scorn of me. But with these nails, I'll pluck out these false eyes that would behold me in this shameful sport.
Oh, bind him. Bind him. Let him not come near me.
Enter 3 or 4 and offer to bind him. He thrives. He strives.
More company. The fiend is strong within him.
Ay, poor man, how pale and wan he looks.
What, will you murder me? Thou jailer, thou, I am thy prisoner. Wilt thou suffer them to make a rescue?
Master, let him go. He is my prisoner, and you shall not have him.
Go, bind this man, for he is too frantic.
Romeo is bound.
What wilt thou do, thou peevish officer? Hast thou delight to see a wretched man do outrage and displeasure to himself?
He is my prisoner. If I let him go, the debt he owes will be required of me.
I will discharge thee ere I go from thee. Bear me forthwith unto his creditor, and knowing how the debt grows, I will pay it. Good master doctor, see him safe conveyed home to my house, O most unhappy day.
O most unhappy strumpet.
Master, I am here entered in bond for you.
Out on thee, villain. Wherefore dost thou mad me?
Will you be bound for nothing? Be mad, good master, cry the devil.
God help poor souls, how idly do they talk.
Go, bear him hence.
Pinch and his men exit with Antipholus and Romeo of Ephesus. Officer, Adriana, Luciana, Coniston remain.
Sister, go you with me. Say, now whose suit is he arrested at?
One Angelo, a goldsmith. Do you know him?
I know the man. What is the sum he owes?
200 ducats.
Grows it too?
2 for a chain your husband had of him.
He did speak of a chain for me, but had it not.
When as your husband, all in a rage today, came to mind and took away my ring, the ring I saw upon his finger now, straight after did I meet him with a chain.
It may be so, but I did never see it. Come, jailer, bring me where the goldsmith is. I long to know the truth hereof at large.
Enter Antipholus of Syracuse with his rapier drawn, and Romeo of Syracuse.
God for thy mercy, they are loose again.
And come with naked swords. Let's call more help to have them bound again.
Away, they'll kill us! Run all out as fast as may be frightened. Antipholus and Romeo of Syracuse remain.
I see these witches are afraid of swords.
He that would be your wife now ran from you.
Come to the centaur. Fetch our stuff from thence. I long that we were safe and sound aboard.
Faith, stay here this night. They will surely do us no harm. You saw they speak us fair, give us gold. Methinks they are such a gentle nation that, but for the mountain of mad flesh that claims marriage of me, I could find in my heart to stay here still and turn witch.
I will not stay tonight for all the town. Therefore away to get our stuff aboard.
They exit. Scene 5. Act 5, Scene 1. Synopsis. Adriana finds Antipholus of Syracuse with his sword drawn and orders that he and Romeo be bound. The Syracusans escape into a nearby priory. The abbess of the priory refuses to make them come out. The Duke enters, bringing Aegeon to execution. Adriana begs the Duke to remove Antipholus from the priory. When Antipholus and Romeo of Ephesus enter, having escaped from Dr. Pinch, the Duke listens to conflicting accounts of what Antipholus and Romeo have done. Aegeon, I still didn't get it. Says that Antipholus is his son, but Antipholus denies knowing him. The abbess enters with Antipholus and Romeo of Syracuse. The day's confusions are explained when the two sets of twins are seen side by side. Antipholus of Syracuse declares again his love for Luciana. The abbess recognizes Aegeon as her lost husband, and the twin Antipholuses as her lost sons. Scene 1. Enter the second merchant and Angelo the goldsmith.
I am sorry, sir, that I have injured you, but I protest he had the chain of me, though most dishonestly he doth deny it.
How is the man esteemed here in the city?
A very reverend reputation, sir, of credit infinite, highly beloved, second to none that lives here in the city. His word might bear my wealth at any time.
Speak softly. Yonder, as I think, he walks. Enter Antipholus and Romeo of Syracuse again, Antipholus wearing the chain.
'Tis so, and that self-chain about his neck. which he forswore most monstrously to have. Good sir, draw near to me, I'll speak to him. Signor Antipholus, I wonder much that you would put me to this shame and trouble, and not without some scandal to yourself, with circumstance and oaths to deny this chain, which now you wear so openly, besides the charge, this shame imprisonment. You have done wrong to this my honest friend, who, but for staying on our controversy, had hoisted sail and put to sea today. This chain you had of me, can you deny it?
I think I had. I never did deny it.
Yes, that you did, sir, and forswore it too.
Who heard me to deny it or forswear it?
These ears of mine, thou knowest, did hear thee. Find thee, wretch, this pity that thou livest, to walk where any honest men resort.
Thou art a villain to impeach me thus. I'll prove mine honor and mine honesty against thee presently, if thou darest stand.
I dare, and do defy thee for a villain. They draw. Enter Adriana, Luciana, Courtesan, and others.
Hold! Hurt him not, for God's sakes, he is mad. Some get within him, take his sword away, bind Romeo to, and bear them to my house.
Run, master, run! For God's sake, take a house. This is some priory, or we are spoiled.
Antipholus and Romeo of Syracuse exit to the priory. Enter Lady Abbess.
Be quiet, people. Wherefore throng you hither?
To fetch my poor distracted husband hence. Let us come in that we may bind him fast and bear him home for his recovery.
I knew he was not in his perfect wits.
I am sorry now that I did draw on him.
How long hath this possession held the man?
This week he hath been heavy, sour, sad, and much different from the man he was. But till this afternoon his passion ne'er brake into extremity of rage.
Hath he not lost much wealth by rack of sea? Buried some dear friend? Hath not else his eyes strayed his affection in unlawful love, a sin prevailing much in youthful men, who give their eyes the liberty of gazing? Which of these sorrows is he subject to?
To none of these, except it be the last, namely, some love that drew him off from home.
You should for that have reprehended him.
Why, so I did.
Aye, but not rough enough.
As roughly as my modesty would let me.
Haply in private.
And in assemblies, too.
Aye, but not enough.
It was the copy of our conference in bed. He slept for not my urging it. At board he fed me not for urging it, for my urging it. Oh, and it was the subject of my theme. In company I often glanced at it. Still, I tell him it vile and bad.
And thereof came it that the man was mad. The venom clamors of a jealous woman poisons more deadly than a mad dog's tooth. It seems his sleeps were hindered by thy railing. And thereof comes it that his head is light. Thou sayest his meat was sauced with thy upbraidings. Unquiet meals make ill digestions. Thereof the raging fire of fever bred. And what's a fever but a fit of madness? Thou sayest his sports were hindered by thy brawls. Sweet recreation barred. What doth ensue? But moody and dull melancholy, kinsman to grim and comfortless despair, and at her heels a huge infectious troop of pale distemperatures and foes to life? In food, in sport, and life-preserving rest, to be disturbed would be mad, or man, or beast. To be disturbed would mad, or man, or beast. The consequence is, then, thy jealous fits have scared thy husband from the use of wits.
He was never reprehended. He never reprehended him, but mildly when he demeaned himself rough, rude, and wildly. Why bear you these rebukes and answer not?
He did betray me to my own reproof. Could people enter and lay hold on him?
No, not a creature enters in my house.
Then let your servants bring my husband forth.
Neither. He took this place for sanctuary, and it shall privilege him from your hands, till I have brought him to his wits again, or lose my labor in assaying it.
I will attend my husband, be his nurse, diet his sickness, for it is my office, and will have no attorney but myself, and therefore let me have him home with me.
Be patient, for I will not let him stir till I have used the approved means I have, with wholesome syrups, drugs, and holy prayers, to make of him a formal man again. It is a branch and parcel of mine oath, a charitable duty of my order. Therefore, depart, and I leave him here with me.
I will not hence and leave my husband here. And it doth beseem your holiness to separate the husband and the wife.
Be quiet and depart. Thou shalt not have him.
She exits.
Complain unto the Duke of his indignity.
Come, go. I will fall prostrate at his feet and never rise until my tears and prayers have won his grace to come in person hither and take perforce my husband from the abyss.
By this, I think the dial points at 5. Anon, I'm sure the Duke himself in person comes this way to the melancholy vale, the place of death and sorry execution behind the ditches of the abbey here.
Upon what cause?
To see a reverend Syracusan merchant who put unluckily into this bay against the law and statutes of this town beheaded publicly for his offense.
See where they come. We will behold his death.
Kneel to the Duke before he pass the abbey.
Enter the Duke of Ephesus and the merchant of Syracuse, barehead with the headsman and other officers.
Yet once again proclaim it publicly. If any friend will pay the sum for him, he shall not die. So much we tender him.
Kneeling.
Justice, most sacred Duke, against the abbess.
She is a virtuous and reverend lady. It cannot be that she hath done thee wrong.
May it please your grace, Antipholus, my husband, who I made lord of me and all I had at your important letters. This ill day and most outrageous fit of madness took him, that desperately he hurried through the street, with him his bondmen, all as mad as he, doing displeasure to the citizens by rushing in their houses, bearing thence ring, jewels, anything his rage did like. Once did I get him bound and send him home. Whilst to take order for the wrongs I went that here, and there his fury had committed. Anon I wot not by what strong escape. He broke from those that had the guard of him, and with his mad attendant and himself, each one with ireful passion, with drawn swords met us again, and madly bent on us, chased us away, till raising of more aid. We came again to bind him, and then they fled into this abbey, whither we pursued them, and here the abbess struts the gate on us, and will not suffer us to fetch him out, nor send him forth that we may bear him hence. Therefore, most gracious Duke, with thy command, let him be brought forth and borne hence for help.
Long since thy husband served me in my wars, and I to thee engaged a prince's word, when thou didst make him the master of thy bed, to do him all grace and good I could. So some of you knock at the abbey gate and bid the abbess come to me. I will determine this before I stir.
Ariana rises. Enter a messenger.
Oh, mistress, shift and save yourself. My master and his men are both broke loose. Beaten and made a row, and bound the doctor, whose beard they have signed off with brands of fire. And ever as it blazed, they threw on him great pails of puddled mire to quench the hair. My master preaches patience to him, and the while his man with scissors nicks him like a fool. And sure, unless you send some present help, between them they will kill the conjurer.
Peace, fool. My master and his man are here, and that is false. Thou dost report to us.
Mistress, upon my life I tell you true. I have not breathed almost since I did see it. He cries for you and vows, if he can take you, to scorch your face and to disfigure you. Hark! Hark! I hear him, mistress. Fly, be gone!
Come, stand by me. Fear nothing. Guard with halberds.
Enter Antipholus and Dromio of Ephesus.
Ay me, it is my husband. Witness you that he is borne about invisible. Even now we housed him in the abbey here, and now he's there, past thought of human reason.
Justice, most gracious Duke, oh grant me justice, even for the service that long since I did thee, when I bestride thee in the wars and took deep scars to save thy life. Even for the blood that I then lost for thee, now grant me justice.
Unless the fear of death doth make me dote, I see my son Antipholus and Dromio.
Justice, sweet prince, against that woman there, she whom thou gavest to me to be my wife, that hath abused and dishonored me, even in the strength and height of injury. Beyond imagination is the wrong that she this day hath shameless thrown on me.
Discover how, and thou shalt find in me just.
This day, great Duke, she shut the doors upon me while she with harlots feasted in my house.
A grievous fault. Say, woman, didst thou so?
No, my good lord. Myself, he, and my sister today did dine together. But befall my soul, as this is false, he burdens me withal.
Ne'er may I look on day nor sleep on night, but she tells to your highness simple truth.
Oh, perjured woman, they are both forsworn. In this the madman justly chargeth them.
My liege, I am advised what I say, neither disturbed with the effect of wine, nor heady rash provoked with raging ire. Albeit my wrongs might make one wiser mad, this woman locked me out this day from dinner. That goldsmith there, were he not packed with her, could witness it, for he was with me then, who parted with me to go fetch a chain, promising to bring it back to the Porpentine, where Balthazar and I did dine together. Our dinner done, and he not coming thither. I went to seek him. In the street I met him, and in his company that gentleman, there did this perjured goldsmith swear me down that I this day of him received the chain, which God he knows I saw not, for the which he did arrest me with an officer. I did obey and sent my peasant home for certain ducats. He with none returned. Then fairly I bespoke the officer to go in person with me to my house. By the way, we met my wife, her sister, and a rabble more of vile confederates. Along with them, they brought one pinch, a hungry, lean-faced villain, a mere anatomy, a mountebank, a threadbare juggler and a fortune teller, a needy, hollow-eyed, sharp-looking wretch, a living dead man. This pernicious slave, forsooth, took on him as a conjurer, and gazing in mine eyes, feeling my pulse, and with no face as twere outfacing me, cries out I was possessed. Then altogether they fell upon me, bound me, bore me thence, and in a dark, dankish vault at home there left me and my man both bound together, till gnawing with my teeth my bonds in sunder. I gained my freedom, and immediately ran hither to your grace, whom I beseech to give me ample satisfaction for these deep shames and great indignities.
My lord, in truth, thus far I witness with him, that he dined not at home, but was locked out.
But had he such a chain of thee, or no?
He had, my lord, and when he ran in here, these people saw the chain about his neck.
Besides, I will be sworn these ears of mine heard you confess you had the chain of him, after you first forswore it on this mark, and thereupon I drew my sword on you, and then you fled into this abbey here, from whence I think you are come by miracle.
I never came within these abbey walls, nor ever didst thou draw thy sword on me. I never saw the chain, so help me heaven, and this is false you burden me withal.
Why, what an intricate impeach is this? I think you all have drunk of Circe's cup. If here you housed him, here he would have been. If he were mad, he would not plead so coldly. You say he dined at home, the goldsmith here dines that saying. Sirrah, what say you?
Sir, he dined with her at the Porpentine.
He did, and from my finger snatched that ring.
'Tis true, my liege, this ring I had of her.
Sawest thou him enter at the abbey here?
As sure, my liege, as I do see your grace.
Why, this is strange. Go call the abbess hither.
Exit one to the abbess.
I think you all are maiden or stark mad.
Most mighty Duke, vouchsafe me speak a word. Haply I see a friend will save my life and pay the sum that may deliver me.
Speak freely, Syracusan, what thou wilt.
Is not your name, sir, called Antipholus? And is not that your bondman, Dromio?
Within this hour I was his bondman, sir, but he, I thank him, gnawed into my cords. Now I am Dromio, and his man unbounded.
I am sure you both of you remember me.
Ourselves we do remember, sir, by you, for lately we were bound as you are now. You are not Pinch's patient, are you, sir?
Why look you so strange on me? You know me well.
I never saw you in my life till now.
Oh, grief hath changed me since you saw me last, and careful hours with time's deformed hand have written strange features in my face. But tell me yet, dost thou not know my voice?
Neither.
Romeo, nor thou?
No, trust me, sir, nor I.
I am sure thou dost.
I, sir, but I am sure I do not. And whatsoever a man denies, you are now bound to believe him.
Not know my voice, O time's extremity, hast thou so cracked and splitted my poor tongue in 7 short years, that here my only son knows not my feeble key of untuned cares? Though not this grained face of mine be hid in sap-consuming winter's drizzled snow, and all the conduits of my blood froze up, yet hath my night of life some memory, my wasting lamp some fading glimmer left, my dull, deaf ears a little used to hear. All these old witnesses I cannot err. Tell me thou art my son Antipholus.
I never saw my father in my life.
But 7 years since in Syracusia, boy, thou know'st we parted, but perhaps, my son, thou shamest to acknowledge me in misery.
The Duke and all that know me in the city can witness with me that is not so. I never saw a Syracusian in my life.
I tell thee, Syracusian, 20 years I have been patron to Antipholus, during which time he ne'er saw Syracusa. I see thy age and dangers makes thee dote.
Enter Amelia the abbess, with Antipholus of Syracuse and Dromio of Syracuse.
Most mighty Duke, behold a man much wronged.
All gather to see them.
I see 2 husbands. Or mine eyes deceive me?
One of these men is genius to the other, and so of these, which is the natural man and which the spirit? Who deciphers them?
I, sir, am Dromio. Command him away. I, sir, am Dromio. Pray let me stay.
Egeon, art thou not or else his ghost?
Oh, my old master, who hath bound him here?
Whoever bound him, I will loose his bonds, and gain a husband by his liberty. Speak, old Egeon, if thou be'st the man that hadst a wife once called Amelia, that bore thee at a burden 2 fair sons. Oh, if thou be'st the same Egeon, speak, and speak unto the same Amelia.
Why, here begins his morning story right. These 2 Antipholus, these 2 so like, and these 2 Dromios, one in semblance besides, her urging of her wrack at sea. These are the parents to these children, which accidentally are met together.
If I dream not, thou art Amelia. If thou art she, tell me, where is that son that floated with thee on that fatal raft?
By men of Epidemium, he and I and the twin Dromio were all were taken up. But by and by, rude fishermen of Corinth by force took Dromio and my son from them, and me they left with those of Epidemium. What then became of them I cannot tell, I to this fortune that you see me in.
Antipholus, thou camest from Corinth first.
No, sir, not I. I came from Syracuse.
Stay, stand apart, I know not which is which.
I came from Corinth, my most gracious lord.
And I with him.
Brought to this town by that most famous warrior, Duke Menaphon, your most renowned uncle.
Which of you 2 did dine with me today?
I, gentle mistress.
And are not you my husband?
No, I say nay to that, and so do I. Yet did she call me so, and this fair gentlewoman, her sister here, did call me brother. What I told then, I hope I shall have leisure to make good, if this be not a dream I see and hear.
Turning
That
to,
is the change, sir. Oh, sorry.
sorry. I missed my spot. Turning to Antipholus of Syracuse.
That is the chain, sir, which you had of me.
I think it be, sir. I deny it not. And you, sir, for this chain arrested me?
I think I did, sir. I deny it not.
I sent you money, sir, to be your bail by Dromio, but I think he brought it not.
No, none by me.
This purse of ducats I received from you, and Dromio, my man, did bring them. Me. I see we still did not meet each other's man, and I was ta'en for him, and he for me, and thereupon these errors are arose. These ducats pawn I for my father here.
It shall not need. Thy father hath his life.
Sir, I must have that diamond from you.
There, take it, and much thanks for my good cheer.
Renowned Duke, vouchsafe to take the pains to go with us into the abbey here, and hear at large discourse at all our fortunes, and all that are assembled in this place, that by this sympathized one day's error have suffered wrong. Go, keep us company, and we shall make full satisfaction. 33 years have I but gone in travail of you, my sons. Until this present hour, my heavy burden ne'er delivered, the Duke, my husband, and my children both, and you, the calendars of their nativity, go to a gossip's feast, and go with me. After so long grief, such nativity.
Oh, my heart, I'll gossip at this feast.
All exit but the two Dromios and the two brothers Antipholus.
Master, shall I fetch your stuff from the shipboard?
Dromio, what stuff of mine hast thou embarked?
Your goods that lay at host, sir, in the Centaur.
He speaks to me. I am your master, Dromio. Come, go with us. We'll look to that anon. Embrace thy brother there. Rejoice with him.
The brothers Antipholus exit.
There's a fat friend at your master's house that kitchened me for you today at dinner. She now shall be my sister, not my wife. He thinks you are my glass and not my brother. I see by you I am a sweet-faced youth. Will you walk in to see their gossiping? Not I, sir, you are my elder. That's a question. How shall we try it? We'll draw cuts for the signor. Till then, lead thou first. Nay, then thus. We came into the world like brother and brother, and now let's go hand in hand, not one before another.
The exit.